Thank you guys, thank you for this opportunity. So while I start this, I just want to start with a question. When was the last time you clicked an ad because you wanted to buy something, right? I think most of us end up clicking maybe because the visual was too flashy, or it could have been a misstep as well, right? But the advertiser or the marketer behind that click is celebrating that as an intent, right? And I think it's clicks are not intent. And I think it's 2025 now, so we should just stop pretending that they are, right? And which brings me to the topic that we have today, that we need to move beyond clicks and what is actually the power of purchase signals, right? So that's what I'm going to talk about. Right. So like I was saying, right, we've moved from about seeing 1,500 ads per day to about 6 to 10,000 ads per day now, right? I landed at the airport. While I was in the flight, I was seeing ads. At the airport, I was seeing ads. On the way, I was watching something, I was seeing ads. Everywhere around there, ads, right? And I think that's why 91% of consumers say that they see too many ads on social media. 70% of us, I'm assuming, will believe that, we're overdone with ad fatigue now, right? And this is despite the fact that advertising industry is growing at a very healthy 10% every year. 1.58 lakh crores is the size of the industry. 55% of the industry is digital advertising, which has grown 31% in share pre-pandemic. But what is the irony? The irony is that despite this huge size of the industry, despite digital being 55% of the industry, what is India's click rate? 0.18%. That is less than 1 in 500 people, right? That's less than 1 in 500 people. And we still don't know if that is intentful or not. Like I asked the question when I started this, right? How many of you actually click an ad when you want to buy something, right? And now from that 0.2%, 0.18% CTR overall Indian digital media average, the conversion from that, for that 1 in 500, is another 1%. That's what the conversion is, right? So what is missing? I think the size of the industry is which means advertisers and marketers are spending behind digital advertising. We have a click rate which is of 0.2%, and we still don't know how much that results into conversion. Clearly, our conversion numbers are in the range of 1%, right? So clicks are not intent, and how do we change that, right? That's what we're understanding here, right? Now, what are purchase signals, right? Every time someone, I'll open this slide and just talk through this. Every time someone pays an electricity bill, pays a credit card bill, buys a coffee, buys something on a Zepto, Blinkit, Amazon, right? They leave behind a purchase signal, right? How do we use all of these signals across first-party data that advertisers collect themselves, at least signals of purchase signals that consumers leave behind in the online world, in retail media, in offline shopping that they do? How does one consume all of this to actually change that click to intent, right? So this is what purchase signals can be, and how do we generate meaningful intent from that is the question that I think every marketer and advertiser and publisher needs to answer today. Right? Now those were the purchase signals, but are enough purchase signals available? Those were the quality of purchase signals, right? Which is to say that, like I mentioned, your electricity bill, your utility bills, your credit card bills, etc. And digital payment itself is growing. UPI is 1 billion odd transactions now, as we all know. And you're seeing that all the top 10 categories today are meaningful to these purchase signals, right? Like 24% of digital payments come from groceries and supermarkets today. QSR and fast food and restaurants contribute to another 19%, right? Now there is rise in digital payments, which all of this is fueling the next generation of richer purchase signals. But how does one quantify them? How does one cohort them into identifying the right consumer for whom the ad is meaningful is what one needs to quantify. So yes, once, and I'm talking from a Paytm lens also now because this is what I do day in and day out. Today, when you have there's demographics, there's behavioral signals, there's consideration signals, and all of them combine into all these purchases that are talked of, which is the purchase signals, right? One can say with certainty in terms of who's an offline shopper, who's an event explorer, who's a beauty aficionado, who spends more on coffee, how much does a consumer spend on grocery, who's a movie lover, who's a frequent traveler, right? And which is why one can then target advertising based on intent of a user and not just spray all over. What does this mean? I'll talk from a Paytm perspective, right? So when you think of Paytm today, you might know of Paytm as the app which you use for payments, right? We use, there is a UPI that we have. We have a payment gateway which powers payments for online transactions. We have EDCs, which are your card devices and sound boxes all across the country. And thus we power merchant payments as well. We are a large player in lending. We're a large player in terms of stock broking. And we have credit cards, etc. All of this is used for monetizing in Paytm ads. The consumer can get deals. We have a travel business as well. And then we have ONDC. Now, having all of these businesses together, which means that there is real transaction data that is available for every user, right? And what does this mean in terms of identifying who the user is? This. So, you know, think of like a Paytm user maybe basically booking a cab, paying through Paytm, maybe paying for a credit card bill, maybe has ordered coffee, paid for anything at a retail store, right? Subscribers, maybe did a subscription on OTT, bought a gift card, bought a flight ticket, right? What does all of this do now? All of this helps us identify the 350 odd million users that we have today and say with utmost certainty which cohort this user falls into, right? Say with utmost certainty if this user is more likely to upgrade to a Samsung S25 or an iPhone now. Or say with utmost certainty, what is their travel frequency, how much credit card bill do they pay, and thus target the right user for the right advertising, right? That is what the power of purchase signals is. I'll give some examples here, right? So a jewelry brand, basically, they wanted to leverage Paytm ads to reach high value buyers, right? Now, with the signals that I talked of in the last slide, we can identify with certainty who's a premium credit card user, who's a luxury retail shopper, because we have those transaction data available, right? And who's an HNI, right? Through this, instead of just reaching or running behind impressions or running behind clicks, you can actually target the right intent user. And what that meant is that from a regular campaign, we were able to deliver a CTR which was 0.4% higher and 22% incremental clicks as well, but all of those on an intent user. That's what actually the power of purchase signals is. Similarly, you know, a quick commerce brand which wanted to acquire newer users, you know, we were able to drive first-time installs because we were able to link the audience with the right signals, right? Any people in the age group of 25 to 45 who were online and offline grocery shoppers. Remember, there is a 4 crore user base which shops offline as well because of those sound boxes, because of those EDCs, etc., right? And thus we were able to drive 38% improvement in conversions for this brand using the power of purchase signals. Similarly, all of this purchase signal usage is not just available on the app at all, but anywhere on the open internet, right? Basically targeting the same audience who's a car owner who pays for an insurance, who's an urban or a tier 2 consumer, on OTTs, on YouTube, on Meta, with the right advertising, and basically that led to a 87% video completion rate, instead of, you know, what you would do when you would basically spray that to any and every user. So this is once again using the power of purchase signals there. And then lastly, you know, and I was talking about this just outside with someone as well in terms of this newer cool advertising that we have today, which is Soundbox, which is actually bringing radio back at the power of, at the point of sale, right? So what you could basically do is boost awareness and engagement. at the point of sale. So after a payment is completed, a jingle could be played, and brand recall in the environment at the moment of truth can be built by a brand. Right. So like I mentioned, it's not consumers don't hate ads. Consumers hate irrelevant noise. And I think that can be eliminated with the power of purchase signals. That can be eliminated with the power of data. See, purchase signals are like GPS on a road trip, right? They will just help you take a faster and a smarter route and reach your destination faster. I think that's what the overall message is. And it's time to move beyond clicks, but focus on more intent, which purchase signals can bring. Thank you, everyone.